Hey, hey. Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is I, Ptah Shakur, back with another episode of Ptah Shakur Speaks here on the WRC TV channel. Going to give it a few moments so I can do a little sound check, make sure that I'm coming across. I'm rolling solo today. As you can see, I got my newscaster jacket on, stepping things up. Let me check on my Facebook page. Make sure everything's going out properly. My apologies, there was some technical difficulties last week in delivery of that particular message. So I'm just going to give everybody good about 30 seconds or so. Hope everybody had a wonderful week. Got jam-packed content here for you. Sure not to disappoint. So everybody here can... It's going to be watching this. Let me kind of start from the beginning here. This particular program is being streamed on the local WRC TV channel, as well as out on Facebook. And then later tonight, it shall be uploaded to YouTube for all my YouTube subscribers out there. As you may know, if you don't, I do a little brief kind of intro. Then I'm going to my prepared intro. I'm Ptah Shakur. I am a local business owner, entrepreneur, and this particular show is where you can come get. This is the home of the high-level conversation. Conversations involved in bringing self-help. Anyone who seeks to better themselves at this particular time. I go into a little bit more of it as I go into it. Make sure that we're good here. So, disclaimer, warning. The information you hear may excite you. It may trigger you. It may cause you to be, may come across quite blasphemous. However, I assure you, the information that's presented is highly vetted. My particular base is out of form of science, all the forms of science I'm particularly interested in. And through the experiences I had in my life, I've chose this particular platform to share some really great information, really timely information as we in 2000 right now. It is October 2nd, Libra season. Halloween's are right around the corner. Ooh, got some real update now. I just mentioned that. So this is October 2nd, 2023. I, Ptah Shakur, I know my place in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free. I am free. I am free. I am in the upper room. God is, God is, God is. I, Ptah Shakur, pledge to always look for the best in each and every circumstance that I'm involved in, and each and every person I'm involved in, including myself. I come from love, I am love, and I choose to look at the world through the lens of love. I commit myself to choosing the upper room, to bringing in the highest vibrations possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. The whole purpose of that particular intro is that I choose to vibrate on a higher level, to give. Service to others is the order of the day as we move into this new cosmic frequency that is affecting mankind and every individual, if you can hear the sound of my voice. I am a role model, youth advocate, Reiki teacher, which I'll go into a little bit of that a little bit later on. Reiki teacher, spiritual channel guide. I am a rebel here to uninstall cowardlessness. I, Ptah Shakur, seek to shed light on the daily atrocities that are orchestrated by the elites who seek control of you and I, and their end game is near. I intend to promote love and light, education, motivation for all those seeking to understand the current cosmic energies, like I said, that are affecting not only this planet, but all the other planets in the solar system as well. I am a dangerous man to those elites and for anyone who is willfully participating in their own energetical enslavement. To all my listeners, I last checked it, we had 72 YouTube subscribers. I have my little, hold on, let me get my little sound ready. It's a well-oiled machine we got going over here, folks. Boom. Don't got time for no ads. Boom. All right, here we go. Okay, it's not working. Anyways, that's the noise that is being expressed right now. This is the energy that I'm coming with. This particular time, like I shared, for all my 72 subscribers, I greatly appreciate you. Next time I have my little celebratory sound ready for my 72 YouTube subscribers and moving on to 1 million. That's the goal. We're moving on to 1 million and more to make sure that this content gets out to those who need that. So to all my listeners, you are eternal beings, with forever being a fraction of eternity. You are beautiful, powerful, love-light children of the divine great programmer. To all my starseeds, all my wanderers, all my indigo children, all my individuals interested in those crystals and noticing those repeating numbers and angel numbers that's looking to vibrate to a whole nother level, I share with you all that we are the new founding fathers of this reality. I ask you all to go deep inside yourself and find that getting connection with yourself, and then express nothing but unconditional love for yourself, and then give a small portion of that to your reflections that are walking around masquerading in physical flesh as your fellow human beings. I would never kill myself. I am a happily married man, educator, well-respected man in the community, role model like I shared. I don't want to cause any trouble with anybody. Love and light is what you're going to see promoted from this particular entity that's in front of you. I invite everybody to get tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to the wonderful Ptah Shakur Speaks program. I am the omnipresent, all-powerful, protecting agency that is governing this mind-body complex. I am the presence of the divine harmony. I am limitless. I am an open door that no man can shut. In short, I am your brother. I am your friend. I am you. So now that I got that intro out of the way, I just really want to kind of go into, and mind you, this is a call-in TV program. So if you feel the want to, I got this kind of close to me. Give a call in. The number is 717-846-5067. It's actually on the bottom of the screen right there. So if you would like to call in, get any clarity to some of this information that I'm about to go into, just a little let you know, the jewel of the day, or the question of the day, is: are you a master manifester in your life? Are you in control of your life? And if you nodded your head no, or silently muttered no, then you need to ask yourself, well, who is in control of your life? And so I'm going to go into exactly who you are. Individual that actually can hear the sound of my voice is sitting down. Who are you? Let me go into that, just a little taste. Who are you? Human beings. Scientists have shared and shown that human beings have the possibility, have successfully emanate light from our faces. They take individuals and have these very sensitive equipment, put them in a dark room, turn it on, have the person sit there, and we illuminate. You and I, we illuminate. We are not physical beings that sometimes have a spiritual type of experience. No. Instead, we are spiritual beings that are temporarily, we're in this physical flesh, this particular skin suit. I share with some youth. I used to be a youth education director, and so with that, I would share with them, when you get inside your vehicle and you drive your vehicle and you crash it, you hop out and you go hop into another car, hopefully. That is the way it is with this particular physical vessel. This energy that's inside you vibrates and lives on and on and on. And so for all my youth, all my hooded youth that's out there, you are loved, you are beloved, you are the most powerful individuals that have ever been in existence, that are now reincarnating back into physical flesh for the purpose of helping during this tremendous hour that we're living in. So this program is designed, if you're a person who loves knowledge, we're going to go into some deep history, a lot of scientific discoveries, different type of metaphysical type of ideas. But the essence of it boils down to this. You that can hear the sound of my voice, you are an interdimensional being. When you lay down at night, the major part of yourself travels on. And when you come back into this physical third dimensional matrix, it is set up in such a way where you deliberately have that amnesia, so you do not understand your power. And I've said this multiple times on my platforms, is that one of my favorite poems, which I'm going to get the name of the poem pretty soon. However, it's in the movie Coach Carter most famously, and it deals with, what are we afraid of the most? What are we afraid of the most? We're afraid that we are infinitely powerful, powerful beyond measure, powerful beyond comprehension. And so by us actually doing that, excuse me for one moment. Chess. Okay. Oh, it's not on air. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go on my recording. So like I said, you that can hear the sound of my voice, you are a master manifester of energy. You are a tremendous energy source. For instance, when scientists would take these particular EKG machines and they would just study the different electrical wiring in the brain, they discovered something really, really tremendous as far as human perception, in which that is, whenever we would imagine something in our minds, the same parts in our brain will be activated and fire as if we're actually physically looking at something. So then that brings the idea, like, what is reality? Is it reality what we see with our eyes, or if we see with our brains? And there's a show called Brain Games, which is quite amazing. And it does things with the different illusions and things, and how our eyes, what we see with our eyes, can easily be set up in a way to deceive us. Hence, this is the situation we're living in today. I'm sharing with you that you are tremendously powerful. You are the all-encompassing energy of creative ability here on this planet. However, if you all can pay attention to the news, if you're above the age of 30, then you should know a little bit of what's going on in this world, and how our greatness, as far as what a human is not being expressed as well. This is deep knowledge that's being expressed at this particular time on these different forums. This is home of the high-level conversation, like I was saying. So just that was a little header, just to let individuals that can hear the sound of my voice. If you are experiencing sadness, if you're experiencing things that your ego is putting you in a very horrible suffering experience, I'm sharing with you that your solution is within your mind. By unlocking what you have and the potential that is in your mind, you don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to come to me. You don't need to go anywhere else to find and unlock the solutions that you need to make your life a happy place. And so, hence, this is one of the purposes of this show, is to be an inspiring voice. I've already done it. I get people come up to me all the time, and I've already seen and proof. Like I said, I know my place in truth. I know what it is that I'm here to share. If it fits you, if it's something you would like to do and be involved with to learn to go to greater heights, that's great. If not, then absolutely may shut in the channel, turn off the channel. Now, you see, putting in some effort here. Got my little newscaster jacket on, and I'm gonna be changing the setup, getting a little greenery and things in here, coming like an old newscaster. So, like I said, I'm gonna get straight into the jewel of the day. Oh, before I do that, let me share with you a tremendous announcement. I need everybody to listen up for this one. I alluded to on a previous broadcast about something taking place on October 4th. Now, mind you, I get people, I got little nephews and different people throughout the community. I'm like a TikTok checker. So you may see in your TikTok timelines and your Instagram and your Facebook information that is coming out concerning the FEMA FCC test that is taking place on October 4th, Wednesday, October 4th at 2:20, I believe 2:20 to 2:50. If it doesn't take place on October 4th, then they're going to kick it to October 11th. That has totally had my eyes glued to this particular development. Some of the things, like we'll go into some of the hidden. In order for you to understand how powerful you are, you also got a little bit about the orchestrated programming that keeps us from noticing those type of things. So on October 4th, at that particular time, from what I understand, there's going to be a frequency that will be sent out to every device, whether it be a mobile device, whether it be a TV, radio, cell phones. It's going to emit a particular frequency. I'll be honest with everybody. I would recommend, and this is one of the things that we'll be going into as far as continue the conversation that we were talking about as far as the how to be successful in ascending at this particular time which is do your own research right here. Do your own thinking on all occasions. So do your due diligence. I heard individuals going to be putting their phones in Faraday cages and doing this and doing that, turn them off. I'm just saying, be careful, people. There's agents that are working to take us to an area that we do not want to be involved in. So that's my quick little newscaster moment. So by going into the question that I had posed underneath the screen there is, are you a master manifester? Are you in control of life? Are we as humans able to do that? And so the answer, empathetically, is that the word? The answer is yes, you are able, and you have been manifesting different things in your life. And I know what you may be saying. That may just sound like a bunch of just BS. The idea that little old me and this experience is what I'm going in with my baby father and these type of things that take place. In short, the answer is yes. And what that means is that whatever we focus our minds on, that's what we put our power. Whatever we put our power, we then start a conduit or a relationship with the universal energy and cause that to come to us. Now, this is not nothing new. This is something that you could easily go take a walk down Books A Million, go to the self-help aisle, and you'll grab a couple books, and the books talk about The Secret or the Law of Attraction. Now, these type of conversations, the law of attraction, these type of spiritual, metaphysical conversations, they may be somewhat foreign to individuals based off of our indoctrination. However, by understanding that those that are the millionaires and the billionaires, they're the ones who know this information very, very well. So it's basically, we're living in a world of have and have-nots. We're living in that great and dreadful day, like I shared, as far as this truth that is coming, the transition was going on. So what you all experience in our home is a tremendous transition. And so how do you make sure that you are constantly in control or on top and bringing in the life that you want? Or are we submitting and giving our particular energetic energy to bring in a world that does not seem painful for us? And just real short answer, don't go for any of the fear-based information that's coming out to you. But as far as to be a master manifester, understanding that you all, everybody, we are magnets. And that's the reality that we live in, and the laws and principles shared definitively, that whenever we speak or whatever particular energy that we put out, it comes back to us. We have different names for these type of things. People call it karma. Karma's coming around to get you. We have different, it's amazing how we have different things that we do, different rituals and things that we do. We throw salt over our shoulder. There's certain things that we do that we understand has an effect on our physical lives. And then there's some things that we don't know that could be a tremendous effect from the spiritual aspect into our lives. And so this is what the topic of these particular conversations. So by understanding that the most powerful thing you can utter out of your mouth is I am. And then whatever you place behind that is whatever it is that you're looking to kind of program or bring into your life. There is a wonderful portion of my life, and I'm looking to get back into that as far as developing youth programs, is to utilize technology to reverse the brainwashing or the mind control. Now, I'm going to dip into this a little bit because it's all science. Whether you use the science for good or whether you use the science for bad, it's the same idea. It's knowledge. As far as even the atomic bomb, you can use an atomic bomb and you can have energy that can assist plenty, or you could destroy plenty. So just that real brief idea is that we all are master manifestors. Whatever you focus on, like I was sharing, is what you bring into your life. You may find that, like I said, you find when people are being cheerful. And I got my little saying that I just recently shared is that I look at life through the lens of love. You'd be amazed how if you would just change your contacts, change your spectacles that have when you're looking at a particular, parents, when you're dealing with your children, are you looking through them through the lens of unbiasedness, or are you looking at them through the lens of, you look like your father? Are we really putting certain things onto them from our disappointments and the things that we haven't achieved in our lives? Are we really putting them on? So we have to really question how we see things. And I just gave a real quick example of how real this is. And I made the example before, speaking about the double slit theory. And just real briefly, this is scientific proof. I'm not just up here just sharing information that I cannot prove. The double slit theory proves that with human observation, human focus, human attention, we actually affect what we call matter. Physical things that we, if I were to ask the question, like, how many different ways can I get out of this particular room? We would think, oh, we're limited. We got this wall here. We got this wall here. The essence of it, that 99% of everything around us is space. So just understanding how the atomic structure works, it makes you reconfigure or makes you reanalyze what it is your purpose is in life. What the double slit theory proves is that we control whether something becomes a particle or a wave. I'm not going to go deep into that. Anybody wants to watch that particular video, you can go ahead and check it out on my YouTube page. But the thing of prominence that I want to mention is that there's a story about the settlers that pulled up on a island full of native individuals. Now these natives have never seen, and I'll tell a little bit about the rain dance in a moment. So this is knowledge that preceded those that have written our history books, shall I say. And it's not enough. The education system really needs to change. So this particular example was this particular settlers that docked outside of a island with a full of native individuals. So they docked out there for a period of time, and they got a little smaller rowboat, and they was kind of doing their thing, dotting along the shoreline there. And then one day, excuse me, the shaman, the wise man of the particular village, he went out to the shore and he was studying. He was observing that there was a situation going on in that area of water that the ship was on. All he was able to see and notice was the white cresting of the waves hitting something. So he stood quite a bit of time out there analyzing and staring at this particular area. After a period of time, it became really, really evident to what he was looking at, which was a clipper ship. So what he did was he gathered up all of the individuals that was able to come out at that particular time. And he asked them, he said, everybody look out. They didn't know what he was talking about. So he said, notice that the white area was much like the cream of a particular animal of their particular language. And so, okay, they saw that. Then they noticed, he said, okay, notice that it's bold, like the bowl of whatever ceremonial bowls that they would use in their rituals and things. And so they was able to see that. And it said, it's tall like the something tree. And so as he laid out the ideas of something that was in existence and put it in terms of which the natives was able to understand, they immediately was able to see. So there's other instances about that as far as to really challenge our ideas of what is reality. And even on the idea of the occult, not say the occult, but like dealing with ghosts and things of that nature. Some people can see them, some people can't. So it's really about how you tune your brain. Your brain is literally an antenna, and we can tune it to a higher frequency. And that higher frequency, the highest frequency, is that of love. And so I ask everybody to tune into that higher frequency of love. And when you do that, number one, you tune into the higher frequency of love and gratitude. Then you use that power of imagination. Now, this is a power. The humans, we have two superpowers. One is sleep. No, excuse me. I was thinking this is three. One is sleep. Two is our ability to go into our own memories and reconstruct through the power of imagination ways to analyze our past scenarios to bring forth a positive energetic experience in this particular timeline. And so with that couples both of a memory and imagination. So when you sit there and you imagine something like the Native Americans did, they didn't pray for a God for it to rain. They imagined it raining. And so there's a lot of instances and a lot of holy scriptures and things that kind of attest to that. So by using your ability of using your imagination, making sure that you are in a spirit of love, spirit of appreciation, and when you tie in your emotions to this, That means this: when you're imagining you walking in that beautiful house, what is the sound of the floors when you're walking across that particular floor? What if you're imagining if you want to have that house along the beach? How does it smell? Can you tie your emotions to it? And I'm sharing with you that, and I'm an example of this. And I've been sharing this particular information with you and encourage individuals to be their authentic self and actually be your particular expression. And I can bear witness that this particular mindset helps. So a little bit of anything that assists me, I've been known to share that information. So that's the jewel of the day is, are you a master manifester? So anybody, I'm not sure if this is going out on YouTube, but I know it will be sent out later on. So you may get this particular message to call in. You might call in and no one's here. If that is the case, just understand that this will be a program taking place on Wednesday, which is the Hour of Power, and I'll be on that particular program as well. Please tune into that, and I'll kind of mention that in my closing as well. So, boom. So that I did, jewel of the day, are you a master manifester? The answer is yes. How you do that is by making sure that you are actually in a loving, peaceful, appreciative vibration. 2, make sure that you have a clear, definite idea in mind of what you want. Be specific. The universe only deals with specifics because where your focus goes, your power goes. And then last but not least, make sure that you are, what's the other one? Make sure you're using your imagination and tying in your emotions. Like how do you feel doing that particular thing? And it's assured to take place. So then just moving on. I did kind of go into some of these ideas. Last particular show is ways to protect ourselves at this particular time towards ascension. And I think this bears repeating. I'm very, very, very excited because there's other individuals on YouTube and other forums and TikToks and things of the nature that's actually taken to the social media aspect to express this wonderful life-giving knowledge as far as how to ascend and really what's going on in this particular day and time. This is a time to be happy, to be very, very elated. This is the time that was written about in the scriptures where it speaks about the return of the Mahdi, the Christ consciousness. The Mayans was alluding to this. This is the golden age that we're living in. So I implore everybody to stand up and actually find the divine within. Don't fall for the fear campaign. Forgot I got my crystal healing crystal. This is one of my prized possessions. I don't know if you all can see this at home right now. This is my healing crystal with the shape of the Metronon's cube, which anybody who knows a little bit about how shapes are very, very important when it comes to bringing things from the spiritual realm to the actual physical realm. Everything is energy, whether it be a form of electricity or whether it be this particular table, you yourself, your apple you're eating, everything emits a particular vibration. Everything moves, everything vibrates, everything has a song. And so even with crystal jewelry, you see that I'm all crystalled out. Anybody want to get your crystal jewelry, make sure you get down to Our Sons and Daughters there in Central Market every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, along with your bath and body products. Really, really beneficial for your skin if you suffer from skin conditions like eczema and things of that nature. But I'll do that in my little closing. But the main idea that I want to kind of go into, and this is Power Pack. This comes from this little excerpt that I'm about to read, comes from an individual who, let me see this here. Before I get into that, I got a little bit of time. It's 8:28. This kind of segues and goes right to what I was sharing about being a master manifester. Got to very, 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 very focused here, folks. So to prove, this is proof is in the pudding. I'm giving you some proof here. Money back guarantee, y'all. I'm going to share these 17. I might not share all 17, but I'm going to share with these different tips or mindsets to have in order to enjoy and understand what wealth is. Now, I'm saying something real key here. I'm saying mindsets. Because if an individual's mindset is not tuned in to wealth, to financial success, it will not take place. The one thing about this is, and I read, and I might get to this, is it's a dog-eat-dog world. This is a reality, folks. If you want something, you need to go and set forth the mathematical plan to go forth and get it. And at this days and time, this is free reign out here. The individuals who had previously had their thumb over you, that kept us in a state of propaganda, state of oppression, state of misinformation, state of misinformation. Those individuals, their time is up with a capital U and a capital P. And so this particular information will help bring some wealth by understanding how important the mindset is. If your mind's not right, then you won't become the magnetical connection to bring in. Life is not hard, folks. If you think life is hard, then life is going to be hard. That's how important, like I said, your human mind is, how your perspective of things is. As you see a thing, things are as they are. So if you see it as being difficult, then it's going to be difficult. If you see this world being hell and everything around you is terrible, that's that lens I was talking about. That's that dirty lens. And dirty lens individuals won't experience financial success now that they do some lotto or something. Good luck with that. However, wealth mindsets. I'll just go on this one. Rich people are committed to being rich, while poor people want to be rich. And now this is real key, because I guess to call myself an Ascended Master, I call myself an individual who has at least aware of the laws and principles of creation. And I've been growing and developing for quite some time. What I'm trying to share with you is this. You have no limits. What it is that we see in our minds, like I said, is that we can manifest into our lives. So if a lot of people have not experienced what they want in their lives, because the conversations go like this. I want to have a beautiful home. So within, or they might say something to you, if you give them 30 seconds to talk about what they want, and if 25 of the conversation goes like this, I want a beautiful house to get away from these terrible children and out of this terrible neighborhood with all this shooting and this drug dealing and all this prostitution and dirt on the ground and all these bullet holes going on. That's what I want. So 5% of that 30-second expression was the universe saying, okay, they want a house. All right, I'm all ears. So tell us, what is the focus? Where should we focus on? Just instantly, what is the focus? And so when we say things about our shot up neighborhood and the house is this and this, then that's the universe to say, oh, that's what they want. How else was the universe going to know what you want besides how if you choose it to be so important, to hold it into your mind, knowing that you are a manifesting machine, that you are an infinitely powerful machine, knowing that you are an interdimensional being, knowing all that, this beautiful Bugatti car that you got, you really going to put that little McDonald's 2-piece inside of there and think that now you got that 2-piece, and that's all you will manifest in your life is that 2-piece. I'm asking everybody to stand. You might have to stand against your friends, go out and try some of these methods that I'm sharing. So that's one. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. You can't just throw a one out there and think that's going to work. You need to back it up with some action, whether it be going to take a walk. You'd be surprising as far as how motion begets motion. If you find yourself in a despondent situation, you're sad and depressed, trust me, folks, I've been there. So you find that taking place, then immediately you get into something that is building. Life is either about building or destroying. If we're going to lay down in our rut and just be nursing our bullet wounds, then there's no way that we can ascend to the top of the mountain. Number 2, rich people think big, poor people think small. What does that mean? I believe it was shared with me a long time ago that wise people see ideas first, events second, and then people third. Small-minded individuals see people first, events second, and ideas lastly. So if you look into the society that we live in, what's being promoted to us and to the kids nowadays, we see these Desperate Housewives and we see all these different type of shows that kind of beget all this type of drama and wanting to be seen and all that type of vibe. I'm telling you, it's already inundated into our youth. I had some youth that was on some Mean Girls type thing. That's the way that they thought they communicated, through that aspect of being ratchet and being mean. That is what we are feeding our youth at that time. So it's time to think big. If you're under the age of 25, you're born and raised in this here city of York, Pennsylvania, I recommend you get a Greyhound ticket. You go travel this world and understand that there is an abundance of things to do, people to meet, money to make. There's an abundance going on around here. But if you live in a very small area and you see the same things every day, which is deliberately controlled to completely speak to yourself in a negative way, to keep you down in that rut, to keep you from being rich. Watch the movie They Clone Tyrone, if you don't know what I'm talking about. This is a real live concerted effort to make sure that we don't understand our own brilliance and our own power. So even with that, we need to think big. In order to think big, you got to see big. This is one of the ideas when I was sharing with the youth, when I went to give them the particular talk of the day, or the Harambe, which was full of affirmations. One of these days, I'll break down the affirmation as far as what I was sharing there for the youth, as well as while I'm sharing this bit of information, because I know kids was in school all day. They don't have time to sit there and listen to me every time. Well, they got time, but I'm going to make the time. And so I sat down there and deliberately shared positive, inspirational, even I love you to the youth. And so while I'm doing that, I have a big, huge projector screen right behind me. For those whose eyes seem to drift when I talk, I realize I can be very monotone sometimes. It could be somewhat of a punishment in order for me to speak to you and actually go into the details of things. I can get like that sometimes. So to make that happen, to make it easier, I put a projector screen, and behind the projector screen show these wonderful visual effects. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's called Money Manifestation. And so what it does, shows these beautiful homes and these yachts and these Bugattis and planes and all that. And all it has like nice little beat going to it, nice little doom doom. And it says, I am rich. I deserve to be rich. I am successful. Money comes to me easily. I'm sharing with you that type of mentality, the more that we focus on money, life is easy. Money comes to me easily. You'll be surprised if you just hold that mentality. Life is huge. Life is full of opportunities. This is the next one. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. I had a wonderful program did a couple years back called a Night of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And in that, I was sharing a little bit. Myself and Jamil Alexander was there as well. Other people in the community was there. And shared the idea about failing early and failing often. And how that is beneficial when you're being able to extract that one seed of victory. Every single failure that you experience in your life has a seed of victory in it. So we have to really make our eyes really, really keen to focus in on that. So when you find the people in your life, if you something that goes on bad in your life, and oh man, living in this city, man, I'm telling you, it's like a disease. Something bad happen, or some type of obstacle that is being placed, whether it be in our lives, then that's pretty much the whole conversation. We talk for a whole about hour and a half. You go over, oh man, let me tell you this obstacle that I had. I was going to work and it was traffic taking place. And then when I went, and look, guess what other obstacle that I had? So the what? And then it was regurgitated back. That's your obstacle? Yeah, that's the obstacle that I had. I had a similar obstacle like that too. Oh, I had a similar obstacle like that too. But when I was sharing about the fail early, fail often, those type of mentalities, the Mayor Heldrick, excuse me, get it right. He actually popped out of his seat. And he was saying, yes, this is the mindset that takes place in individuals in his experience that are successful, is having that mindset of, hey, this failure that I'm experiencing is only temporary. There's a seed in that, as well as the mindset of understanding that focusing on opportunities. I got two favorite words, y'all. One is abundance, the other one is enthusiasm. So abundance changed my life when I realized that there's massive amounts of money out here, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up with the mentality that it was a certain finite amount of money. You had to work, you had $8 hour job. I had those jobs before. I had those professional temp jobs. Had all of them. Started from the bottom, now we're here. So had all of those particular type of things that were set up in my life. And what changed my life is the understanding that there is a massive amounts of money that is being created every day. I thought it was a finite amount. If you take a bathtub of water and, okay, well, that person has skills and talent. He took a whole cup full, and this person took a bucket full. Seeing people out, sometimes we get in ruts in our lives, and we try to realize that the life, it tells us where we need to go. Oh, okay, I need to go to school. I need to get this. I need to get this degree. Then I reach a midlife crisis, realize that society pushed me in that direction. I didn't want any of that. So with that understanding that there is an abundance, I moved to different Different cities. Different cities I moved into took on a whole different persona. When I was in Pennsylvania the first time, I was a temporary individual. And if anybody who lives that life, you have my hat goes off to you. But understand that you deserve better. You are being affluent and having all your needs met is the bare minimum of what it is that your rights as a human being. And that 1% of the population has been scaring away and hoarding away 99.5, not going for 99.6, to make you think that that little thimble of bath water was for you. But that is not the case. The truth is, it's not a bathtub. It's an infinite. It seems to be an infinite river. And I know I watch football and I watch different types of sports. It seems like every year there's a different benchmark. This is the richest contract ever. This is the richest contract ever. And I'm seeing there's multiple millionaires and billionaires, more billionaires now than when I grew up. There's more trillionaires now than I grew up. Where's all this money coming from? If it's not all. So with the idea that there's multiple sources, not only that, sources of income. If we fall in love with the idea that we're employees, given whatever you get paid an hour, just understanding whoever your employer is getting paid more. So the best time to look for a job, or the best time to create a job, is when you have a job. So then you have that financial freedom. So focus on opportunity. I ain't going to try to get too long-winded. So rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. And that's one of the big things that is plaguing our community and our society is the fear. Fear of not having it. By understanding, for one, understand that you're an energetical being. Your energy is tremendous. And yes, I'm talking about reincarnation, folks. So as bad as things get, for those who don't want to take risks in their lives, that you're basically falling to the whims of your body consciousness. And I'm going to share this real brief, and then I'm kind of finish off, but this is very, very impactful to know, is that while this information is coming to your earlobes, it's 2 points of consciousness that is actually receiving this. One is your higher self, or what you call your spiritual component. The other component is your body complex. You'll excuse me for one moment. Sorry about that. So like I was sharing, as far as you have 2 components of who you call your beingness, and which is your spiritual aspect, and like I was sharing, as far as your body complex. This is the quickest way to kind of understand that, is realize that you are not breathing right now. Your body is breathing for you. That vessel that you have is so tremendously powerful in its design, where most people go throughout their lives, throughout at least their daily occurrences, without even the full understanding of operating from their mind, from their particular mind. Meaning this, we find people that sleepwalk. They'll sleepwalk, they'll drive long distances, they can be caught up in doing a menial task. And a lot of us who've done physical manual labor, you find that you can have a whole conversation, you can really do quite a bit, and without having to put deliberate thought into your action. So that's one of the good things I believe that came out with the COVID, everybody going in lockdown for that particular season, was it gave us a chance to kind of reanalyze and rethink. It gave us a time where our body complexes, you couldn't go down to Piggly Wiggly's and get your bacon sandwich and things of that nature because it was closed. You couldn't go into the work that you had before, whether it be loading boxes or things of that nature. That whole rhythm was disrupted, and because of that rhythm being disrupted, then the body consciousness just basically goes into a little spaz out phase. Didn't know what to do until we decide with our minds what you're going to do. And so individuals, and there's a lot of us that are developing right now, we're finding out, and that's why it's so hard for people to go back to work. They're having difficulty for people finding positions and things of that nature. They realize that when you get in contact with your divine self and being intentional about what you want in your life, then you won't settle for anything else. Some people, like I said, they just refuse. They want to find whatever it is their calling is. And so the programming like this, Ptah Shakur Speaks, we want to make sure that we are helping you all define and develop that portion of yourself and reanalyze and recommit yourself to yourself. And the best way to do that through meditation, through mindfulness, and that's the way that you will actually find really, really wonderful peacefulness into your life. So I'm just going to read just one more of these. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. What I mean about that? Just by understanding that any type of failure is just a step towards success. Because people talk about that all the time. They think failure is the opposite of success. The opposite of success is conformity. So when it comes down to information, constructive information, because failure could be constructive. My son, he played on a football team, and I don't believe that football team won a single game that year. And I remember being a proud father. I'm just sitting there, and I understand how much the grind is and how much kind of tore away at him after every loss. But he showed up the very next game. And so that was something I was very, very, proud of, for all those that continually gave their all in the face of that particular thing. So there's a degree of power and knowledge that can come out of that failure of losing every game. Now, I was talking about like receiving constructive information and advice. I would just say, just plain, I got people in my family. I would say African Americans especially. We men, we were not taught to how to master our emotions. And in fact, growing up as a black man in African American community, that information is something you get from your fathers as far as how to express yourself emotionally. Or if you don't have a father in your life to do that, then that explains some of the detriments that we're going into. Not only that, but paternal figures that we see in the form of movies and music and things of that nature. They all make it seem, and particularly I grew up in the gangster rap type of mindset. And so that mindset was this, like you got your Jordan sneakers, everybody in that particular condition, it was a hellish condition. Now it's different type of cities and different type of ghettos, different type of hoods is a little bit different, but they all have the same component. It is a very impoverished area that is devoid of any type of real motivation. And so what you find is that when you have a devalued sense of yourself, you then pass that devalued sense to the individuals around you. So what that means is that when you go into school and somebody has their sneakers on, they got their brand new Jordans, that was the shoe. That was the shoe. That was at the height when they decided to be extremely commercialized with sneakers and things of that nature. So somebody step on your sneakers going through the hallway, that was a straight fight. In some cases, it was straight pull out guns, and that's a life. Now, that's the level of devaluing your own particular life, whereas you can definitely devalue somebody outside yourself. So that type of mentality of being tough when you got to kind of go outside, you got to kind of always kind of be on your edge, that really doesn't bode well when it comes time to receive knowledge or receive information. Information would have to come to us a certain way. Your tone had to be a certain way. Your volume had to be a certain way. So then when you have people from that element that look to go to school and go to college and go out to work at these large corporations or even go into business for yourself, you find that the mentality of people outside of your environment, they'll come up to you and they'll share some things that you might need to do to get better at your job. Or even in some cases, I tell young men between the ages 17 to 22, I say you got to get your game face on and actually be very, very intentional about what you want in your life. Because when you leave the city and you go work in the little outskirts that's around here, there's people that's going to test you. They're going to test your emotions. They're going to say certain things to kind of get you off kilter, just so you can react in the way that they expect you to, as being an angry black man, just so you could be relieved of your particular position. But I asked you all, master your emotions. And when you master your emotions and you realize that that person outside of you is just merely a reflection of you, and this whole conversation is taking place just so you can kind of analyze what it is you need to gain from this conversation. No matter how bad the conversation is, no matter how bad the interaction is, there is a degree of things to be received from that. So by being a poor receiver, being a person who is kind of caught up in the city type of mentality where it has to be perfect English brought to you and it has to be the perfect tone. Like I said, small minds see people. See people, events, and then ideas. Large-minded individuals see ideas, events, and people. And like I said, we've been really kind of taught to go backwards with this particular society. Everything is backwards, even the way that we read. Particularly here, this is coming from America. So if you're able to hear this, I know I got some people on my Facebook page from other points in as well. We do things backwards here. Write backwards, read backwards. And so we live in a system, and we're governed by individuals who think backwards and are just Johnny-come-lately when it comes to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So just real briefly before I kind of head out, I want to go into this real brief tips as far as how to ascend at this particular time. If you haven't heard it before, like I was sharing with you, this is the most powerful time to be alive. This is the time that the Mayans spoke about in 2012. They pointed to this time as far as in the scriptures talking about the Christ consciousness. Even Jesus made a comment when he says, "Greater work shall ye do." This is the work shall ye do part that we're living in right now. And so this particular information is made to help you ascend and navigate through these particular situations that we're going into, this new fifth dimensional earth. Number one, do your own thinking at all occasions. Human beings are given complete control over nothing except for the power to think your own significant thoughts. And by thinking, challenge your news, and understanding that if you watch the nightly news, that's your only source of information, I feel sorry for you. The understanding that whatever 10, 12 bits of programming that's been pre-selected in order for you to understand, that does not give you a full idea, the glimpse of what's going on in this world. In fact, it is a great distraction. Do your own thinking at all times. Number two, decide definitely what you want. Whatever you want, you can definitely have. If you can see it in your mind, you can see it inside of your hands. That's one thing I always share with the youth. Analyze temporary defeat. Cover that one ad nauseum. Understand that everything is a nature of cause and effect. Number four, be willing to render useful service. In order for you to manifest the things that you need, there's a law and principle. I don't have that with me, but I believe it's the law of compensation, whereas whenever you give, it's already set up in the universal construct. You receive based off of what you give. That's kind of like the whole essence of what I was speaking about as far as the laws and principles. So you'll find people who have amassed great amount of wealth. I believe Bill Gates, I believe at one point in time he may have had $3 or $4 million, and he was on that level. He donated $1 million to a particular cause, and then he's up into the multi-millions, maybe even the billions now. So people know this in the society. Mark Zuckerberg and individuals, they know. And I say them particularly because I'm mentioning the bad actors, the ones that want to take us down a not so pleasant road with all this metaverse and with all these different type of RNA that they're trying to put into the lettuce and the vegetables and trying to get us to, I understand they got some difficult decisions to make. Dealing with the mass amount of individuals on this planet, but it's a very devious idea that's taking place. However, they're still experiencing the financial rewards of this because they're able to operate with these laws and principles of creation. There is no good or bad here. In the times of being, we're going to find out later on this year, some more truths is going to be exposed to some individuals that we look up to. Number five, recognize that your brain is a receiving set that can be attuned and receive communication from the universal storehouse of infinite intelligence to help transmute whatever it is your desires into a physical equivalent. So I'm saying if you sit in your mind physically, if you want that particular person in your life, if you want that loving spouse in your life, you have to be it first. If you want to have friends, you have to be a friend first. If you want to have riches, you got to realize that you are riches first. In order for you to be a star, you got to realize that you are a star. Number six, recognize that your greatest asset is time. This time in particular is really super crucial. Do not hesitate for one moment to start to build your own particular relationship with the divine. That's what's inside of you. Like I said, only thing, except for the power of thought, it's the only thing that you own outright. And utilize this time Not utilize it doing some Netflix binges. Utilize it to feed your mind. Utilize it to help become a solution to the problems that you see in the world. It makes no sense to me when I hear older individuals complain about youth, while they're hidden away in their house, peeking outside the windows, looking at a hooded youth walking by, petrified. And then you continue that whole negative conversation by focusing on an obstacle instead of the opportunities. These individuals are wasting time and perverting more and more like individuals to continue looking at things in a very despondent, sad, dark type of experience. When you pray, do not beg. I'm gonna give you a little. Archangels are real. Angels are real. Energetical beings are real. Everybody kind of writes about them. So when you want to get in contact with these individuals, understand that you do so from the power, from the source of power, from the seed of power. Like I shared before, you are an infinite, intelligent individual. You are the drop. You're the ocean in a drop. You're not a drop in the ocean. So you have manifesting abilities. The other individuals in other realms of energy realize this and know this immediately as we go into our sleep mode and we go back and reconnect with the higher portions of ourselves. We know immediately who we are. We know we the baddest thing on the planet. However, when we come into this third dimensional world ruled by individuals who have done their very best to make sure that you do not understand the magic that you possess, this is the world that we live in. So understand everything is magnetic. Demand what it is from out of your life. You don't have to pussyfoot around, so to speak. By understanding what it is that you want and going into motion, it is sure to happen. That's why, and this is also something to listen up to. If you have toothpaste at home and you have to have fluoride in your toothpaste, that's one of the things that's holding you back. That's one of the things that's keeping you despondent. Study what took place in the Holocaust with I.G. Farben, the German pharmaceuticalist that actually started to inundate the water for the Holocaust individuals to put them in a really, really subversive state, as well as sound frequencies. Watch out, I told you about October 4th. These individuals have science and knowledge. They know how to master us in and out. They have ways, believe it or not. I ain't gonna go into that too much, but I keep it PG. Anybody want to get into some real deep information, make sure you check into the Ptah Shakur Speaks program there on YouTube. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. So, like I said, realizing you do not beg. Affirm what it is what's in your life. It's an abundance. It's not like there's the angels above, a God above, and saying, well, yeah. Well, why you want 3 houses? You see individuals got 4 or 5 houses, 6, 7 houses, multiple cars. So what are we begging for? Make sure you be very, very specific of what you want. Number 9, recognize that life is a cruel taskmaster. Either you master it or it masters you. There's no halfway. There's no compromising. It is what it is. I have friends of mine. Got love for them. Got mad love for them. However, if an individual does not want to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, if they do not want to let go of pain, of childlike situations, and a lot of us are walking around with them. We have to deal with that discordant energy. This is part of what the time we're living in, that 3D, 5D split. It's a time for all of us, individually on a macrocosmic level as well, is to get rid of that distorted energy so that we can move through and we can vibrate on a whole other level. It's much like being at the bottom, you being at the beach. The waves is coming in. I'm telling you, they're coming in. You can choose to keep your feet where they're at. And you find yourself holding on to all your discordant energies, like holding on to a boulder. Just imagine the visualization of this. You're on the beach, on South Beach. The tide is coming in. It's still coming in. You're sitting there, sitting down, holding on to a boulder. Meanwhile, the water going above your head, you find yourself 6, 7 feet underneath the water. At what point are we going to let go of whatever it is that we're caught up in? And that's why I said it leads to one of our superpowers is the power of your imagination. That is your superpower. I made references of the Native Americans and river dances, and I made the analogy towards the double slit experiment and things of that nature. So just real briefly, make sure that making sure that you are working through whatever your particular things, because nobody's coming. I mean, people are coming, individuals coming. Nobody, your savior is not. You are your particular savior. If you're looking for someone to come and sweep off your feet and wipe your feet off, it's going to take work. It's going to take effort in order for you to get what it is that you want. Number 10, never accept life Never accept anything from life that you do not want. Do not even focus on you doing anything you do want. If you got something in your house that doesn't serve you, if you got a microwave don't work, throw it out. It's not serving you. It's not building. It's not, the consciousness is not adding to you for you to continue to grow into whatever you need to do. Do not accept anything in life that you don't want. And this is my PSA to everybody, is that we find ourselves becoming sheep, being herded to a particular area. Like I said, the end game is near. So now's the time to really kind of pay attention. Last but not least, remember that your dominating thoughts attract through the definite laws of nature by the most shortest and convenient route their physical counterpart. Be careful what your thoughts dwell upon. I made this analogy to my son. I was just talking to him yesterday in our living room. Is that whatever thought, you can't control thoughts. Thoughts of you might get the most craziest thoughts and you're having it pop in your head. I'm going to slap somebody in the back of the head. You got to analyze whether you're going to do that or not. You may even beat yourself up and say, man, I don't know where that thought came from. Thoughts, you cannot control thoughts. Thoughts come, thoughts go. But what you can do is control how long you let them simmer into your mind. And like I shared, you are an infinite, powerful, beautiful, manifesting machine. You are like a microwave. So whatever you pop into that microwave, you cause to come alive. So you can cause positive things to come on. You can even cause negative things as well. And a lot of those actually have their counterpart, which is called diseases. Yes, sir, I'm mentioning this to you all right now. Different diseases that carry people up out of here, is a lot of it has to do with the food that you ingest and put in your body, as well as your thoughts. Make sure your thoughts are light. Make sure they're loving. Like I said, this is Ptah Shakur. That's my last kind of little idea. Hopefully this information touched just one individual and caused them to kind of go into more different momentum of positive thought that can lead to a real catalyst in change. I am the catalyst for change. I know my purpose in truth. I know what I am in truth. And so I would ask everybody, this is a program that comes on every single Monday. I don't know if it went out live today. I got to speak technical, but we're getting our stuff together. I know it's going to be on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you check this program out. It's every Monday from 8 to 9 as well. Check out the Hour of Power, which is taking place on Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. with myself and Peace Elohim King. We're going to certain different ideas of the day. Youth, we're going to have a youth showcase, have youth it's a community-based program where you can kind of come in and share what's on your mind. We all need to build together in order for us to move into this new earth, this new dimension, this new form of love and light. We got to be able to have a wonderful discourse with everyone. I'm willing to have conversation with anyone, whether you be a Trump individual. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is or how you identify. I believe, and I would love to have individuals on both sides of the spectrum of whatever the particular conversation is. So that is the way when we get to kind of express ourselves and understand that we are all humans at the end of the day. We are all, in essence, we are all the same being here to experience different perspectives of life. And as this new high consciousness comes in and it becomes really, really evident to you, for everyone, we're looking to kind of create a wonderful dystopian world. This is something real. This is a clear present danger and it's clear and present wonderfulness. Great and dreadful day of the Lord that we're living in right now. So, like I said, this is Ptah Shakur. I'm asking everyone at home, make sure you find look and seek. If you live in a household and you live with somebody else, you might be living on somebody's couch or whatever, find a corner of that home. Find a place in the yard. Find some place where you can make it your inner sanctum. Place where you can go and you can be yourself. You can be free. You can meditate. When you do that, find that heaven on earth, I promise you, you'll get in contact with the God divine that's within. And when you do access that God divine within, I'm asking you for everybody to give a little bit to your fellow human beings, your reflections, and let's all build this heaven on earth. This is Ptah Shakur, and love and light to you all.